There are times we cannot tell, because they have not yet happened. The end of this story is still to come. It is a book that is being written far from the media and the world's attention. It is an unfolding conclusion, with each page bringing us a little closer to the final chapter. This story tells the dream of a few thousand people who, for 3 generations, have been trying to make the world better, each in their own way, each at their own pace, but all convinced that we can live each of our days differently by infusing meaning into everything and poetry into every gaze. It's the story of a city in the making, of a once dead piece of land that, over the decades, has become a bubble of paradise, attracting thousands of visitors each year in search of meaning. This is the story of Auroville, the city that sought to find solutions to humanity's excesses. It may sound corny when said like that, but it is the ultimate goal of this project, inaugurated by about 100 countries in 1968, to achieve human unity and build the city that the Earth needs. A vast program, enough to develop an exceptional spiritual ego. Well, yet, they did it. For my part, I'm just a witness to this adventure. I wasn't born there. My parents didn't work there all their lives, but I've been part of it at my level long enough to see the beauty of this project and cry in despair as I watch it slowly being poisoned. I will not speak in my own name for reasons you will soon understand, and because I am just a straw in this adventure. This story will not follow a logical, meticulous, or chronologically coherent thread. It will be a series of anecdotes, life moments, successes, and failures. It will be the life of those who, day after day, seek to build this utopian city that is Auroville, and of those who, for the past 3 years, have sought to seize it. If there is so little talk about Auroville in the media, it is for several reasons. First of all, Auroville is not intended to be a tourist attraction. The city has therefore only attracted over the years those who discovered it, like finding a 4-leaf clover during a joyful Sunday walk. Then, no one has been savagely massacred since the beginning of the crisis that threatens to destroy the slow work done by a few thousand people for nearly 70 years. It is a much more insidious death, a slow poison that drains its residents of their energy and drives them to flee. And above all, hardly anyone spoke of Auroville because of fear. Because since the early days of this tragedy, merely mentioning it could mean expulsion from the country for a foreigner or the threat of prison for an Indian. It has now been more than 3 years since the tragedy began its early acts. 3 years since bulldozers, protected by more than 200 police officers, started methodically destroying the nature and joy of the inhabitants. Perhaps I will tell you about that dreadful night in the next chapter. Perhaps not. I would prefer to talk to you about the hundreds of birds welcoming the dawn around me as I write these lines. But to protect future dawns, it seems more urgent to bring darkness to light. Welcome to Auroville.